아프리카 TV 프리급 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 2 코드 S The Coming Storm.
Artosis!
Yo.
I checked the time machine. We've come into the wrong reality bubble. This is the one where Dream is the best player and Maru never wins a GSL.
You know what? I kind of like this one. This is an interesting one.
Okay, should we just stay here?
What else is different about this time
No one
bubble?
has toes. This is the one where everybody has flippers for feet.
Does that make us more powerful or
Yes,
less powerful?
But I cannot paint my toenails, so there's that as well.
But if we came into the reality, we would still have our toes.
I'm not taking my shoes off to find out. I don't know.
You're one of them!
Ah! Okay, this is it. This is the final match for Group C. And like literally every game has been an upset because it's the upside down world.
So who's supposed to win this then?
Trap's supposed to win this in the upside down world.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, in the upside down world, not in the normal world.
In the normal world, Solar's supposed to win.
Okay, got
Yeah.
you. Got you. Let's do it.
Yeah, but they still have toenails.
Okay.
Toes.
It's important.
Yeah.
시작해볼까?
You ever think how a Ninja Turtle's foot, it would not be fun to paint your toenails? You only have 2 toes. There's not a lot you can do with that.
Honestly, I never think about any of these things. No, Tasus. No, you creepy weirdo. I don't ever think about that.
Never? Not even once?
Not even one time.
Not even all the time when I'm trying to cast with you and you're trying to listen to what I'm saying, but you can't stop thinking about it? Not even then?
Not even then.
Okay.
And trust me, I'm trying to think about anything but what you're saying.
강민수.
So because it's the upside down, inside out world, Trap is going to win in a decisive macro PvZ with no adept timings.
No adept timings?
Yes.
What?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's impossible.
Or not, I should say not adept all-ins or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna play safe, tech into carriers.
I want to see it
Win
badly.
from there. Yeah, well, it's okay.
Dude, the most refreshing PvZs for me so far this year were Estrella's game against Dark.
Yeah, I still think about that.
That was an amazing game, and I want to see more games that look like that. And other than that, I liked Trap's series in the round of 24. He played it really clean PvZs, just really well done, but a more normal style. I mean, I think that's the best we can hope for here from Trap, right? Is that really, really clean PvZ play that we saw from him before.
The games with Trap against Maru were pretty exceptional as well. It's kind of crazy to see that Trap was able to take down Maru in such decisive fashion, whereas Dream completely owned Trap. Trap looked like it was his first time playing that matchup, like he was all over the place.
Well, we see the Twilight, so don't get too excited here. It's probably for Glaves.
Well, what exactly would Trap need to have to really try to take on a player like Solar? Because Solar is looking like in his best form yet.
I wonder if this is going to be Charge. Well, he needs to be completely clean like he was in the previous round.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing.
It does seem like Protoss is a race that can't make any mistakes anymore in early game PvZ.
Absolutely.
And be okay. Like
Absolutely.
it's just not allowed. It's banned. And
Yeah.
looky here, Adept.
Yeah, really
Glaves.
well optimized here from Trap.
Gloves.
Gloves.
Yeah.
See how many gates he goes up to.
Gloves. Adept gloves.
Adept gloves.
Yeah.
That would be way cooler.
Yeah.
If it wasn't glaives, but it's gloves.
They
You're
just have cool
updating
gloves that
Adept
go all the way up to their elbows.
Yeah, so when they throw their little shiny disc things,
Yeah.
they're like, they shoot them quicker. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're like nice gloves.
It's easier to hold their disc things.
Yeah. Did you ever wear a gaming glove, Tasteless?
Like a Nintendo Power Glove?
No, like, remember Sun Glove?
Yes.
Yeah, like that. Like
kind
a
of glove I
that-
put on my
A
hand.
glove that's marketed to people as like, wear this glove to play the game.
I mean, if it helped me, I guess.
Okay.
We should start a new scam called Gamer Hats, and it's just like dumb hats people wear that we say makes them smarter. You know?
And it's actually perfect because only our target demographic would buy them, stupid people.
Yeah. Okay, the push is coming out. We have the Adept
Yeah.
warping in.
Yeah, a spine being made.
Their gloves are done. They're resonating gloves.
Almost done.
Almost done.
10 seconds. All right, here comes the first shade.
Ready? And it's going to be like right then. All right, gloves done. Grip is better. Some good wrist protection. Dark Shrine next. Now again, there's actually a lot of different Protoss timing attacks that I mean, you know, I think the early days of Zerg was trying to figure out which timing attack, but it seems like this is becoming a more and more understood matchup, which is why it's harder to win with these kind of timing attacks, frankly, as Protoss.
Yeah, well, right now he's trying to keep pressure on, and then, you know, hopefully warp in some DTs for some extra damage. We'll see if this works out for him.
So
he's going to be able to do another round of Adepts before the DTs come in, though.
So basically, the Lings, if they can track the shade enough, it's never worthwhile to shade forward, or to finish a shade, I should say.
Yeah.
So you basically try to stalk those units.
He warped in Adepts at home. I wonder why he did that. He did 4 Adepts at home instead of up front.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he wants to make it look like, okay, it's done, when in fact the DT drop's going to come in here very soon.
Huh. Okay, well, the Prism's coming back with Adepts in it.
ADAPs, Artosis, with gloves.
Gloved Adepts. Okay, warps into the 3 DTs. Oh my god, the layer is not done, and he does not have a
Oh
spawn.
my god. I love PvZ in the upside-down, inside-out world.
All right, well, he's going to get that.
Yeah, this could be possibly game-ending here. This is really bad.
Yeah, you see this 1 DT that's walking around. That is to try to make sure that there's no spores around.
Yeah. Okay, now transfuses are coming down, but you can't transfuse fast enough with 3 DTs, and he brings it back home.
I'm not entirely sure why he dropped the Adepts off. That didn't change the math of anything, but did lose some Adepts.
That's true. And I mean, this is a Zerg trying to restart the layer. I guess actually the layer started again at another hatchery, but look, this is a Zerg trying to get into mid-game.
Yeah.
After losing one of the 3 mining locations. Protoss is looking great, and I think a lot of this was the Adepts walking home.
You think so?
A lot of players, okay, hear me out. A lot of players will try to have the Adepts hit somewhere else as the DTs come in. No one ever just sends them all the way home and then sends the DTs in, right? So it just doesn't look like, it looks like for sure everything's done.
Yeah, I guess so.
So it's like not the most
Maybe you think an Immortal
efficient
Push
way
is
to
coming or
play,
something.
but it's like,
Okay.
you're just not thinking DTs then.
Okay, and you?
Yeah, maybe Immortal Harass.
Yeah. Oh. Maybe Colossus coming up. I actually really like that. It could be Disruptors as well. I think that Disruptors are undervalued in this matchup right now.
I mean, right now, Trap is really playing exactly the kind of PvZ you need to win. Another DT comes in.
Well, when you get a hatch, I mean, that's...
Whoa, get a drone. What are you doing?
He's just trying to be one of the boys.
Yeah, he's trying to be one of the drones.
Oh, man. Bad things occurring right now to Solar.
Yeah, Solar is hurting right now. 6 drones killed. Actually, 7 before that one's taken out. Solar's trying to take a 4th in the bottom right. Pretty far away location. There's a chance Protoss doesn't check that right away. That's not where Zerg ever takes a 4th, which is why Zerg's taking a 4th there, because Zerg's behind.
Thermal Lance started up right before we switched taps, so we know that Colossus is going to be the tech of choice here.
And really, Trap not overextending here, not at all.
No, he's really not. I also find it interesting that it's single Robo Colossus. You don't see that all that often.
Yep, very
A lot
good
of times when you're doing Colossus, you do double Robo to speed out 3 to 4 because you want to basically hit like a timing with them because they kind of don't do that well later on.
Where are the resources going then if it's not double Robo?
Just more bases.
Oh, okay.
I think he's done enough damage that he absolutely does not need to do a timing attack right now. He can just grow naturally, right? Add some splash into his army, continue to get some upgrades, continue to expand.
Yeah, I guess Protoss just wants to max out and push. The damage has been done.
Yeah.
Secure the fourth. That should your fourth base should be set up and safe by the time it's time to attack out. You don't, I guess, really need to even be that fancy this part of the game.
Yeah,
in fact,
I think
even
so.
trying to be fancy could put you at risk.
It might. The only thing is that the composition that he's making right now, it's like heavily Blink Colossus. It's not completely Blink Colossus, so there's other stuff in there, but it's not really the greatest composition. It is more of a timing attack looking composition with some non-timing attack looking units in it, but then also adepts, which are, those don't scale well either, right? So looking at this all together, it's a weird looking army is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, the Stalkers blink down. I think there's no way to salvage this hatchery. The Adepts, by the way, did a good job drawing a lot of the Banelings back over here. This base goes down, and I actually think the Protoss keeps the ball rolling.
Yeah.
I think you then just go right down this ramp and take the next fight.
Absolutely.
And just try to push through and end this game.
Also, he's put him into a funny position where he's making Corruptors, but the Colossus count is at that weird number where you're not even sure if you want Corruptors against it.
Yeah, it's such a small number that if you overmake Corruptors, you don't have any utility with them.
Like 4 Colossus, yeah, go mad on Corruptors, but when you got 3, it's like, oh, that's kind of the more in-between number.
So now the, yeah, I mean, it's 4 base versus 4 base again, so Zerg is still behind. Trap, I think, is just playing the perfect game. He really is.
Yeah.
He's regrouped. He's opened up the center in case he needs to push from there or retreat and go back home. Some Banes are going to come through here. Now, this is pretty important damage, but Trap so far seems to be, well, spoke too soon. 6 probes are killed. I thought he was going to pull away a little bit more. Do we have no Observer with this army?
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, kind of weird. So I guess it's just going to be a fight on the creep all the way. The Baneling's nest goes down, so the Banes you see now is what Zerg is going to have for the bulk of this fight.
Oh, man. Well, the Archons and Stalkers absorbing quite a bit right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Biles are going down. He actually blinks forward into the army. He just has such a large force right now. I don't think that there's anything Solar can do.
Yeah, this is just too much Protoss, everything but the Colossi. And it looks like Trap wins game 1 as the Bizarro world continues.
Good play from Trap. I mean, the DT warping with the Adept drop into the main base to kill the layer while it's basically right after it finishes. Not something I saw coming, that's for sure.
I know that you want to hang out after this Artosis and grab a beer, but I got to go home to my 4 kids. This is the Bizarro world, GSL, where I have the family.
Oh my gosh.
And you're the bachelor.
Oh. Yay, let's stay here.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Trap going to 2-0. An opposite day.
There's no way. Ice and Chrome coming up next.
Yeah.
Solar does not want to drop out now. But we need that second Protoss in the round.
We need the Protoss to move on. Sorry, Solar. Game 2 is loaded up. Trap versus Solar. Let's go. Let's go!
경기가 준비되었다. 한번 시작해 볼까? 진에어 그린 윙스 트랩 조성호.
One of the last Protosses. They say they'll be extinct by 2025.
솔라 강민수.
This is like one of those National Geographic or any of those David Attenborough nature docs where the predator, in this case, is the Zerg, and the colorful bird that we're all rooting for is the Protoss.
Yeah. And there's just one type of this colorful bird.
Yeah.
That actually sometimes kills the wild animals.
Yeah. Right now, basically, Solar is like an owl.
Yeah.
And then Trap is like some kind of hummingbird that can change its chest color.
Yeah.
To trick the owl into thinking it's a fruit or something like that, and therefore not edible.
And then Parting is a hummingbird, which is carrying around a little knife and fights the owl.
Yeah, the hummingbird with a bee stinger. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bee stinger and a switchblade. It just
Oh. I like the visual of that.
Yeah.
Trap also wants a bee stinger and a bird and a blade.
Yeah. But Trap is not born with a bee stinger.
No, he was
or
not.
thumbs to use a switchblade.
No.
Yeah.
It's got
So
little
it
bird
has,
feet, though.
It
Those
has to
things are
puff
pretty
its
useful.
chest out.
And change the color a
and
whole
change
lot.
the color a lot, but it takes a lot of oxygen. And yeah, this thing's going to be dead very soon. There's not going to be any more of these, all right? Unless we start making them with the Jurassic Park-style cloning. But then if we start to clone the Protoss players and bring them back, we're going to start making amusement parks where we think that it's safe to have a party in a trap caged up. And wait until we find out they can open doors.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
Protoss, though? Open doors?
They can learn Artosis.
I guess so.
I can just see you with your Jurassic Park security outfit laughing at that, and then you get eaten. You're going, clever girl. And they come get you.
But I won't say clever. I'm like, you're so bad. And I play my round where I play you. They come in from the sides.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn cheesers as I die.
Can you imagine you're about to be eaten by a raptor and you say clever girl? Like, of all the things you could think of as like nice moves, like, it looks like you hunted me.
Yeah, he's a good sportsman.
I would have been like this. I'd have been like, a raptor! And I would just be eaten.
Well, maybe when you say clever girl, it's like kind of like GG.
Yeah, that is like GG.
It's good to the end.
I would have tried to say GG, but I would have misspelled it and said something else. I would have been like trying to type in what I want to say.
GJ!
And then I would have hit backspace and been eliminated, and I would have gotten my words out.
Tastes in it. GG's bad
Because
manner.
GG's bad manner. Getting eaten by a raptor, seriously. So,
Waves build.
gloves.
I bet you he does not go Dark Shrine this time.
Oh, I don't think he goes Dark Shrine anymore in the series. I think he's going to have some other kind of build here. But what is that build going to be? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's going to maybe underproduce Adepts. Maybe go take a third even more quickly.
Sending his gases, the Overlord actually spotting that.
There's a lot of lings coming here, Artosis.
Yeah,
24
there's really a lot. I mean, this could be, let's see if he starts warping any like sentries at home or starts an Immortal. Because it could be something like that where you're following up with a really strong 2-base push. Dark Shrine again.
Wow, no kidding. I guess sometimes doing the least logical thing in a series, sometimes it could be the most unexpected. You know, DTs, you kind of have to go off and on with them, or people are just going to be ready. Because when DTs don't get in there and don't do damage, you're pretty behind. I mean, I know you can make them to Archons, but you're pretty behind. The Zerg will take that situation happily.
Ooh, a little bit risky there with the Adepts. Spore being started. Doesn't want to be caught off guard this time.
Okay.
Picking off some tumors. Pretty good.
Okay, so now what?
You know what is unrealistic about StarCraft?
What?
The Adepts, right? Like, when you cancel the shade at the last second, if you give them that command, you know one or two of them is going to screw up and not cancel it in time.
Yeah, right.
So some of them should finish.
Are they just all like synchronized swimmers?
Yeah, it's just I can't buy that part of the story.
Yeah, well, no, for me it was Mutas flying in space, but your thing is true too.
They have wings.
Yeah.
Texas doesn't even know that wings are how you fly. That's so funny.
In space.
He thinks only helicopters can fly for some reason. Like, tasteless,
In
birds
space,
aren't
no.
helicopters, and suddenly Tasteless just shuts up for the rest of the day.
Forge, by the way, looks like we're going to be macroing, getting upgrades. And see how this goes.
Yeah, wants to shade in, pick off a couple drones, get picked up.
Wow, that did not do much
No,
of
that
anything.
was,
That was completely shut
like,
out.
It feels like he changed his mind there. He's like, oh, there's too much over here. And then he's like, oh, that's too far away to pick up.
Yeah. Nothing worked out quite there. One DT is being made. Is this the first DT that's been made this game?
Yeah, it is.
Does he want to try to come in later on with the DTs? Is that the plan, or is it just...
I think he just
Just
realized
wanted
that there was
Archons?
enough defense, and you don't want to cancel the Dark Shine because you are going to need Archons.
Right.
So yeah, like if there's no place for it, it's an expensive unit. Just don't make it. We see that occasionally. If you don't think it's going to work, don't warp it in.
Okay, the push comes. And yeah, let's see if Protoss wants to commit. It almost seems like Trap is really just going to be very comfortable with the macro game. But
Yeah.
I want to see how that actually pans out against, oh my god, this Immortal, this is a big catch. Oh. Okay, so the Immortal's going to get saved.
No problem.
But still, this means no recall later on. And, you know, moments like this actually are going to be crucial because this might be a moment where the Protoss army needed to be recalled here. If they can't take this fight, there are links from below trying to come do a counterattack here.
Yeah, definitely some issues happening right now.
Oh, my God. This could be just a big loss here. And maybe a situation you can't even recover from here is Trap. I mean, he lost all those sentries.
A little bit too far out to the front there. It looks like he's
Yeah.
going to go with all of his Immortals, but he lost all of his sentries.
Artosis, 8 mutas on the way. Plenty more Zerglings.
Oh, that's painful. He does have Blink, and the DT sees the mutas before they get to his base, so this gives him a little bit of time to react. Definitely not a good situation, though. Solar has to be feeling very, very good about what's going on here.
All right, so where are the mutas going to hit? It looks like he wants to go to the main. I think that Trap had a pretty good read on this, but Protoss is barely in this game right now. This is a Zerg about to be on 5 bases, hammering at the defenses. Again, this all goes back to the recall on the Immortal, and then, of course, the fact that there was no recall available for the main army, and Solar won a pretty decisive fight, which is propelling him into a massive lead in this game.
Yeah, he bled a little bit too much there. A lot of mutas being made. Okay, this game is going to get really exciting. We don't see a Stargate coming up. So what is going to happen here most likely, if Trap does not straight up die, if he gets an army that can actually fight against this, it should turn into a wild base trade. That's like what normally happens with mass muta. But Trap has to first not die to it and get a big enough army that the mutas become a little bit scared of it. Because if the mutas can fight, they'll go fight and win. If they can't, they'll counter, and then suddenly it just is so hard to hold on.
Mutas come in. Again, their Stalkers are being drawn back as Zerg continues to grow and consume more resources on the map. But there's more mutas right now than there are Stalkers. And even
so
with
many.
good blinking, oh my god, and now there's an opening here at the natural.
He does chase the mutas back. Rest of his army comes up, forces back that little attack.
Okay, pretty good defense, but again, Solar's still maxed out.
Yeah.
Solar still is able to just dump armies into different parts of the map.
And he cannot actually walk out with this army.
Yeah, this is too small.
Mutas will kill that alone. I think that Trap just... He might feel like this game is already a lost cause.
I think he feels like he has to make something happen because he knows he's behind, but this is exactly how you fall into the trap of just getting your army destroyed.
If you can't stop the mutas, that's the issue. All right, well, the Link's trying to come up for a counter here. He does have an Archon mix in, which is so good against this. Oh my god, no anti-air over here. He's bringing up the rest of his Stalkers now.
Wow. The Stalkers take a lot of hull damage. They actually somehow, by miracle, both live through this, but I'm sure they'll be picked off later on.
Yeah.
A dozen more Mutilas are about to hatch. And,
you need Archons, man. You have to get Archons against this. Stalkers cannot win this battle.
Yeah, it's something nice to add in against this, but they're not the final piece.
Oh god, he's actually bringing this army back. Oh, he needs to join up his army. This has potential to get very exciting coming up. Trap's doing a pretty good job of staying alive here, I would say.
Yeah, Trap's movement is pretty incredible here, to be honest.
It's impressive.
I mean, there was like 6 or 7 dive-ins there that could have really messed him up, but he handled it so well.
Look, his army like massacres the ground army of his opponent, but the Mutas mess up math here.
Yeah. Well, there's still one Archon in this group. Hopefully he doesn't overextend with it. You know,
Look
1 or
at
2
this.
Archon shots on that group of Mutas, that's what you need to have.
He actually needs to target down the Archons with his other units. Like, he has Ro Ravager here. I feel like they should be just targeting the Archon.
Oh my god, an Archon shot. Oh, this army's still pretty sizable. Is it possible that Trap is actually going to have a Hail Mary play here?
I think he just completely
might have just done
outmaneuvered
it.
Solar.
Yeah, I think he...
Like, this is not really how this should have gone down. Like, Solar should have been going for this type of move from the beginning, I think.
I agree.
And instead, Trap just, like, he went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and boxed him back to his base.
Beautiful
So he
play.
gets to start the base trade before Solar does.
The Spire will be taken out, so no more Mutas.
That's huge.
Keep in mind that Zerkin still has to deal with the recall, which is an inevitability here. Protoss will eventually go back home with the Stalkers to start to defend, but not before. I think the Protoss wants to do a little bit more damage, kind of finalizing the destruction of the infrastructure here. And look, he split up the army perfectly. Every hatch will be popped out. Protoss will go back home, recall, protect the probes.
I think he has some drones that he sent somewhere, probably. Like, that's one of the main things you need to do when you have Mutas, is make sure you have drones hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
Or that they sneak out before the units get to you.
Oh my god, an Archon!
Ooh.
That's actually a pretty big hit. You can see they're all in the yellow now.
It should be healed up before any engagement occurs.
Oh,
but you can see it has turned into this base trade. And the thing is, this should have been worse for Trap than it is. But who knows now? This is one of these crazy situations. Look at this, 100 army supply against 82.
Zerk does not have the minerals to make another hatchery. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's a hatchery being made at the top left. We didn't get it on camera, but it's there.
Yeah, that is very sneaky.
Whoa, 3. Okay.
And look at this. He's going to
War
be able
Prison
to...
goes down.
Yeah.
Solar wins. Looked like it was going to be close,
Trap
but
did. Trap really outmaneuvered him there and made that so much closer than it should have been. Because when you're just going Stalkers, you should not be able to beat someone that's just going Mutiling. And Solar shows why. Even though he starts that late and lost a big chunk of his army beforehand, still wins the base trade. Muta's very, very good at that.
Well, Solar still has a chance. Great PVZs, by the way. Definitely in that game with Trap, the strategy didn't have that much flair. And it does seem like with Protoss, you have to be ready with something. But
he did have like a pretty good army, and he was walking around pretty well. But yeah, there wasn't like anything super sharp about the way he was playing. He was just trying to play a solid game,
which I think was fine. And I even think the counterattack was pretty good by Trap.
You mean that last one he did where he kind of pushed him back and then?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was very impressive. It was very good. It's hard to deal with that many Mutas, though.
Yeah, Stalkers don't beat Mutas.
Well, also, I mean, you snipe off the Archons. The Archons really need to be protected very heavily there. A few Archon hits, and then the Stalkers kill all the rest of the Mutas.
Yeah.
So
if you have Archons mixed in with your Stalkers, like a decent amount,
like 3 or 4,
they can't attack the Stalkers because the Archons will get hits, and then suddenly, hundreds of damage every shot, thousands of damage.
Splash damage is a funny thing, especially because Mutalisks stack on top of each other so much. The splash is like really distributed to everything there. So it's going to be our last game. You know, I think the tricky part is Protoss have to keep coming up with different crazy strats to try to do some kind of a timing attack or some kind of surprise attack. I think in game 1, the Adepts moving away and then sending the DTs in surprised Solar in such a way that there was nothing he could do. But
Yeah.
what else does Trap have? I don't think Trap can do. I mean, maybe Trap will try to do what he did in game 2. I don't know.
He did basically the same thing twice.
Except he didn't spring the DT attack on.
Yes.
Opted out.
So I want to see him open something else.
Okay.
Stargate maybe, like just. It doesn't feel like Glaives should be your every game thing.
Seems like the more Protosses do that, the worse the game gets. Or
Yeah.
the worse the series gets, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
Everdream is our map. Will there be a cannon rush? Will there be a proxy? Is there some other kind of timing attack? What does Trap have? There's also the possibility that Solar does some kind of crazy aggressive move. He's capable of doing that.
That would be the funniest thing if he wins with a cannon rush.
Sure.
Wouldn't it? My God.
Okay, game 3 is ready, the last game of the night. Only one player moves on. Trap or
경기가
Solar?
준비되었다.
Let's find out.
한번 시작해볼까? 진에어 그린윙스 트랙 조성호. 솔라 강민수.
Right. See if Trap stays on that Glaives route. Wants to mix it up. I mean, his play is really good. It's really clean. His defense is great. His pressure moves are great. Let's not forget, though, he did mess up. That Immortal was a little bit too far from the shield batteries.
Yep.
He had to use the recall. At the same time, he had a forward army that he lost all the sentries in. Obviously, that is a big, big deal.
Yeah, that was the biggest part of game 2 for sure.
Yeah,
you know, you
lose
force out that
500
recall.
gas of units,
Yeah.
like for nothing, basically.
Actually, I do wonder, you know, I almost forgot about that until you mentioned it. I know I was
Yeah.
talking about it in the game, but the ending got so crazy I kind of lost track of the start to finish of that. But I wonder if maybe Trap plays kind of similar to game 1 and just doesn't get caught with, you know, Lings forcing a recall before it's time. And you just win.
Yeah, maybe. So, nothing weird here. Just kind of waiting to see if it's going to be a Twilight again. And we'll be seeing that in just a few seconds here as he hits his gas. There it is, Twilight. That doesn't mean it's Glaives right off the bat. It definitely looks like Glaives, but it could be Archon drop with DTs. It could be.
Yeah, I mean, there's still
could
many
be a
more.
charge build possibly, but those are really the only two other options.
Yeah, there's
the
still
charge build is not that good now.
other forks. Yeah, the charge build is old.
It's really old.
It had a time. I mean, the thing with the charge build is the damage starts to come pretty quickly, so that can be hard to deal with. But
Well, especially with the charge nerf, it's just kind of.
yeah,
I don't think we'll ever see it again, to be honest.
but at the time when it was used,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this is the trick. Is like, okay, how do you? It does seem like, especially the Korean Protosses, still feel like they need to do some kind of a push early. There's some kind of a push game. So
Well, I think so. You know, Stargate. Part of the reason why Stargate was so popular for so long, there's several reasons. One, it makes it. Oh, it's going to be an Archon drop. That's really cool. It's different, and just you know, by the fact that it's different makes it very cool. But what was I saying?
wow, sees the DT shrine too.
Oh, did
That is brutal.
Well,
No
it's
surprises
a
this
macro
game.
build too, though, right?
I know,
So-
but I mean, you want to.
Yeah,
never
you want
have
to
them scout.
spring them. Do you think he'll just make them straight into Archons then instead of try to hit with DTs first?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I can't imagine that you still cross your fingers and drop DTs and hope to do something and fly out and make them an Archons.
Yeah. Oh, is he going into only 3 gates? Okay. Yeah, this is a slightly different one where it's not Archon based, it's actually DT based, where you like harass with a couple DTs while taking a third. And then eventually you can get Archons, but you're not actually putting as much money into it as the older builds. It's kind of like pretending you're doing it. Because really, I mean, the Archon drops don't do anywhere near as much as they used to. It's kind of like their rope openings.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
Not that many Lings over here to fight this either. It looks like one Adept is going to go down.
But a couple drones and 3-4 Lings.
Good save. 2 DTs are being made. They're back at home. They're going to be turned into an Archon, I believe. The layer is coming here for the Zerg. No Archon? Okay.
Yeah, I guess they're just going to defend against the Ling counter. Good defense. Can't even think about staying there against that.
Okay.
Meantime, the Adepts, I mean, hey, it's...
Yeah, I mean, this is
something, I guess.
It's some damage. 2 more kills. 2 more DTs in production as well. And we're going to have the War Prism come back and pick those up. Immortals are being cranked out one by one. We have some other gateways coming here as well. Blink. And it looks like the 3rd base will go up without a scratch, without a dent. There's going to be 1 drop, though.
Yeah, that's kind of cute.
That's kind of, yeah, I mean, I guess Protoss can be spread a little bit thin here. If you're dropping, you're harassing with Adepts, and you have 3 bases up. Maybe your main doesn't have anything to help cover it.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe this is a great way to just get some kills on workers.
We'll see in a moment here. Nothing there.
SimCity pretty good, though.
Yeah. I don't think he has shield battery or anything up there, so he doesn't have a warp and ready.
No damage dealt over here at the 3rd. Actually, these sentries a little bit too far out. Shield battery coming in pretty handy. Some warpins over here to try to help protect.
Hey.
Wow. Okay, so this is where the damage is starting to add up.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy. I guess he was microing his Archon drop.
I see Queen's pulled here. Is that actually... Are the Queens going to turn around? Okay, I thought he was doing some kind of all-in. Which looked like a weird angle to send Queens down at, but...
Yeah, I think they're all just like looking at other places on screens for all these... Because we're seeing a bunch of minor mistakes being made.
Yeah.
But that's because we're looking at an area that they are not.
So the drop overlord will be picked off. And yeah, let's start getting this Archon drop on. See how much damage can be dealt over here. Protoss is starting to see if they can't get some work done.
All right, I mean, a couple drones here and there, a few Lings. Honestly, I feel like Solar is kind of getting a bit more done.
Yeah, I feel like Solar's playing a slightly better game here.
Yeah,
I think
slightly.
that the ideas from Trap are still really good, but as far as who's taking little bits of a lead here, looks like it's Solar. And this appears to be a game where it's going to lead up to a big attack here from the Zerg. Zerg's going to be maxing out pretty quickly here with Roach Ravager. Might have some Banes thrown in there as well. Take a 4th, start to roam, look for a fight.
All right, gonna scout out what's going on. It's just continuing the same path. Trap, not afraid of these macro games at all.
No, he's not shying away from them.
Fourth base is up.
Oh, this DT got in there. I didn't even notice this.
Yeah, really nice.
Okay, now.
Totally worth.
Recall pulls that DT away. The Zerg's 4th is finishing up. There's drones mining from it now.
Yeah, Solar sending in yet another scout here, just trying to figure out what's going on.
It seems like Trap is probably going to take a 4th, cover it with defense, and then try to push. Just like we saw in game 2. Now, it also appears that Solar is going to be pretty confident when we get into you know, a push game. He's actually destroying rocks and opening up parts of the map. You know, these DTs that are just walking through are actually doing a lot. Oh, unless they don't target drones. I guess you can just kill the queen and then kill the drones, but I feel like, well, hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Push is coming in. Bane's coming in from the side here. Connects mostly on an Archon. Ravagers are here. This surface area, it's very hard to actually push through it. It's a very tight bottleneck.
Yeah, but he does have this high ground advantage. There's full vision for Zerk because he's walking over creep tumors during this. But
that's true.
Looks like it's time for him to go. He throws down a few force fields here with those new sentries. Wow, some really good micro here from Trap. Look at this.
The Warp Prism is safely in the back. Another Warpman round is coming. Drones are being pulled. I actually think there's too much here for Trap. I think he did it. GG, Bizarro World GSL is complete.
Wow. And Trap advances to that round of 8. Well deserved. Taking down both Maru and Solar. Solar, after playing those games against Maru to not get out of the group, seems like a travesty, doesn't it?
That is a bummer. But you know what also, Artosis?
What?
We've got a Protoss in the round of 8. A different kind of Protoss. Solar, I feel for him, but look, he can play that well. Imagine him in the future. He seems to be just getting better and better.
Yeah.
The best group we've ever seen, I think, as far as play from Solar. Even though he lost.
Yeah, his play against Maru was spectacular.
We got an interview now with Trap. Let's see how he's feeling. He has managed to survive to the round of 8.
And the second place of Group C, Trap, moves on to the round of 8.
선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
Congratulations. Thank you.
네. 자, 오늘 2위 진출이지만
Today you
그래도
secured second
5연속
place in
8강
Group C.
꾸준한 성적을 냈습니다.
But you
먼저
have
진출
been
소감
to the round of
어떠신가요?
8 5 consecutive times. How do you feel?
일단 처음에 져가지고
Well, at first I lost and I had to play against Maru in the losers match, and that was the worst situation possible.
그래도 최종 둘 다 떨어지는 것보다
However,
이게
you know,
낫다고 생각해서 다행인 것 같아요.
rather than two
자,
junior
오늘
players
최종전
getting
통해서
eliminated, I think it's
진출하게
good that
됐습니다.
at least one made it
아주
here.
영리한 심리전으로 시작을 했죠.
And that you know that you were some clever mind games going on today.
사도 암흑기사가 대성공을
And the Adept and the Dark
이게
Templars worked out
직접
so
배분으로
well.
암흑 선수를 확인하지 않는 이상 이기는 빌드일까요?
And so, you know, how was this build?
확인을 해도 좀 상관없다는 생각으로 준비를 하긴
You know, even if I
했었는데
get observed, this build is
상황이
pretty
제가
strong.
원하는 대로 나오진 않더라고요.
And the situation didn't go the way I
두 번째 게임에서는
intended to.
상황을 좀 잘못 읽었던 것 같아요.
And I think in the later match, I think I was unable to read the
그래도
situation
오늘
well.
이렇게 최종전을 통해서 진출하게
But in the
됐는데요.
final match, you did win and then
조성우
move on.
선수가 테란전을 아주 잘하시고
And Trap,
또
you know, you're a
같은 팀
renowned
조성주마저
PVT
2대
player.
0으로 이기는 실력이
And you defeated Maru 2-0
오준혁
as well.
선수에게 패배한 건 스스로도 좀 놀라셨을 것 같으세요.
So I'm sure you were very
좀
surprised when you
어떤
lost
생각이
Dream
드셨어요?
today. So what went through your mind when you lost?
너무 압도를 당해가지고
You know, I got like overwhelmed by him.
했는데 그래도 떨어지고서 내심 조준혁 선수가
But
내려오길
you know,
잘했었어요.
after losing, I actually
복수하려고
hoped Dream would get eliminated.
를 맞춤당한 것 같아서 그래서 좀
You know, I think I was
화가 좀
my
나
build was to
있어가지고
like
다시
counter.
만나자라는 그 생각이
So you know, I
있었는데
had the mindset to play against him again, but you know, Dream was so good
네, 그렇게
and he advanced in
아쉽게도
first place.
다시 만나진 못했는데요. 자, 그래도 다음에 기회가 있습니다.
But despite that, I think you will
일단
have your
8강에
chance later on.
진출하게 됐죠. 자,
But now you
앞으로
go on to
뒤쪽
round of 8.
2위와 8강
So you'll be
경기를
playing
치르실
against the first
텐데요.
place of Group D.
진에어, 김도우,
And as mentioned
이병렬
before, that Group
선수가
D is
나을까요?
stacked.
아니면
You know, Cure,
흑부전이
Zest,
나을까요?
Rog, Stats.
후전이 나은 것
You know,
같아요.
I'd rather prefer the
자,
PvP actually.
주성우 선수와 김대엽 선수와의 대결이 훨씬 나을까요?
So playing against Zest and Stats is better.
강렬이랑 하는 것보단 그게 나은 것 같고요.
Yes, rather than playing against
원래
Rog, I think that's better.
푸푸전을 솔직히 제가 제일 잘한다고
And
생각하고
before the patch,
있었는데
I actually saw PvP was my best
되고 나서는
shot.
게임이 너무
But after the
문적인
patch,
요소가 많아진 것 같아요.
I think you know, Protoss is not looking good right now.
요즘 푸푸전이 어렵긴 한데
So PvP is
그래도
hard.
저그전보다는 푸푸전 만나는 게 나을
But
것
it's
같아요.
still better than PvP.
저그전보다는 푸푸전이다 이야기하셨는데요. 자, 5연속 8강 아주
And this
꾸준한
is the round of 8,
모습 보여주고
5
계십니다.
consecutive times for you.
그래도 다시 높은 곳까지
So you know,
올라가셔야죠.
you still have to
마지막 한마디
aim
들어보겠습니다.
higher in the match. So
네.
anything you want to say?
제가 8강으로는 만족을 못 하겠고요.
You know, I'm not satisfied with the round of 8.
열심히 해가지고
I'm gonna try harder.
뭐 우승까지도 해보겠습니다.
And maybe have a shot at the
우승을 이야기하셨는데요. 다시 한번
championship.
2위 진출 축하드립니다.
once again, congratulations. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 C조의 2위 진출자 진에어 그린윙스 조성호 선수 만나봤는데요. 오늘 경기 최종 정리 확인해 보시죠.
Thank you, Andy. What a crazy day. Dream and Trap move on.
It's pretty wild.
Maru and Solar are not in the round of 8. Every single game, look, I think this is fair to say, it was an upset. Every single game an upset. Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Trap Solar, I think, could have gone either way. Realistically, Trap's had a better last year than Solar has.
Nope. Every game was an upset.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Every game was an upset.
I think you didn't hear me correctly, Artosis. I said
I like how every game's
game.
an upset, and we have 2-1s in here too. So it's like, what? how could every game be an upset if both sides won?
I'm going to say it one more time. Every game was an upset.
God.
So here are the 6 players that we have in the round of 8. After Saturday's cast, we will have cemented the round of 8. We'll have all 8 players there, and that's when this tournament gets even better.
We have some awesome looking stuff going on here, man. This is crazy. I can't wait to see who comes out on what day of the week we're on. We're on Wednesday. Who comes out on Saturday?
Saturday match. Yeah. So we're going to be back in just a couple days, everybody, and we'll be casting these remaining 4 players to move on to our eliminated Cure, Stats, Zest, and Ro.
Yeah, we're going to see if what Dream said about Cure stays true. Is Cure going to crush out of his group of finalists from last season? Can one of our big Protoss badasses get out as well?
What about Rogue? He's had a bumpy year this year, but he's one of the greatest Zerg players of all time.
Yeah, well, he's up and down. He wins a tournament, then just bombs out at the next one. That's something to happen.
Stats, Zest, complete opposites as far as Protoss play. Let's see which one manages to move on. It does seem like we're going to have to lean a little bit more towards the macro games in PvZ. Seems like maybe that would be a moment that Stats could do it, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think Trap's play should give Stats some more hope because Trap is playing more of a style that Stats is good with. Whereas maybe Zest can watch Parting's cannon rushes and figure something out.
I don't know.
Just make even more adepts. He's like, oh, I fixed the build. I get 1 more adept now. It's the back-breaking adept.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. What a really special night this was. I mean, really good games, really exciting. I know that sometimes we have days where it's like the results are ones that we already knew were going to happen, but it's a tournament. We have to let them play it out. But today was just full of surprises. And, you know, the games, the quality of the games themselves are quite good, too.
Yeah. Solar versus Maru, that first game, that was right up there for me.
That was insane.
For the whole year, that was one of the best games, in my opinion. That was a great game.
Really shows you how, you know, to take on a player that is so robust like Maru. Very rarely do you see a game where the longer it's gone on, the further behind Maru is. But Solar did it. Really crazy.
Played fantastically. Sad to see Maru go out, but you know what? He's had his fair share of championships. Time to pass on the torch to someone else like Innovation.
This season has just been great so far. I'm excited. Again, guys, we can't have anybody coming down to the studio yet. We're sorry about that, but this is the whole world right now. No social gathering.
We wanted to have people at the studio, but Tasteless made the executive decision that he doesn't want anyone to have fun. So
I hate fun. I hate fun, Artosis.
Yeah.
But look, when people can finally travel again with convenience, think about coming and visiting Korea when the pandemic's done and visiting our studio. We'd love to have you guys here. That's all the time we have. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, wear a mask, and have a good morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Unbreakable.